phenomenal issue, about the naming of month. Is all about people observing what's happening in that particular cycle of time, which is the month inyanga, right? So sibonge kakhulu kulabo asebathe basharela what they call inyanga uzibandlela in their own language. We have heard from a Setswana perspective and isiXhosa perspective. Wherever you at, we really invite you, just send us, even you send us your comments, to tell us what is the name of the month or the month December in your own mother language, right? Yes, so principally we are going back to share on the point of isiZulu. We have made us aware that our year begins in the month of Mandulo, which according to Gregorian calendar is September, right? Our year doesn't begin in Janus, which they call January. People, you must know that. Our year in this side, begins in spring. Whenever is spring this side, that is the beginning of the year. And actually even in Europe, the year doesn't begin in January or in Janus. The Gregorian calendar is a scam to disconnect people from the vibration of the energies of the infinite consciousness, whom we call Umenzi. We call Umdali, we call the creator. So Pope Gregory and his friends, they are fraudsters. They wanted to scam the people and to get the people disconnected from the natural cycle of life, so that people won't connect with the vibrations that are radiated and projected by nature, and the alignment of planets and alignment of stars, alignment of cosmic bodies, alignment of energies at that particular cycle and phase, right? So in Europe, their spring is in another month, not January. So anywhere you might be, your year begins in spring. That is the beginning of the year. So our spring is in the month of, from the month of Umandulo, right? So initially, before the climate change, we started planting in the month of Umandulo, and after there is so much of rains in the jungle out, or the bushes out there is so much grasses that are growing, taller and taller and taller, so that even some footpath, as time goes by, they are closed by the grasses as time goes by. But yeah, man, we are busy from the month Umandulo. We are busy at the field, tilling the land, planting, sowing, right? After then, when it comes to the month Uzibandlela, which is according to Gregorian calendar December, right? Naturally, already there were things that are crops, fruits that were becoming ripe, and in that time, that was not the time for visiting each other. Everybody is really preoccupied and focused and busy in the field, because as agricultural people, we eat what we produce. We don't depend on anybody else, unlike the system wherein we are forced into right now. We now depend on the shops for our food. Initially and naturally, we were created to feed ourselves based on what nature provides for free. The land is our mother that gives us free, energy. The sun, the moon, the rains, the skies, everything, give us everything for free, because everything blend and align energies to create life, right? So when it comes to the month of Uzibandlela, cross getting ripe, we are now preoccupied with what, making sure that we guard the fields, So this is no time for you to take a journey, akusona isikhathi nje sokuba nendlela eyaphi. We are really busy in the field to protect, the crops, to scare away the birds. Remember, the birds, they like to come to the fields and eat the grain. So we are busy. We wake up early in the morning. We spend the entire day in the fields, scaring the birds, and also preparing, right, works there. So in that case, nobody visits each other. So let's go back to and make the mathematics of language now and decipher the codes of the name Uzibandlela. Why in isiZulu it is called, the month is called Uzibandlela. This word Uzibandlela constitutes of two, sections of it. The first one is a verb, which is ukuziba. Ukuziba is to avoid something. If uzumuntu ethi kuwena hey uyangiziba, they are in English they are saying hey you are avoiding me. So ukuziba like is to avoid something. Then indlela is a noun. Now igama, is a noun, which means indlela is two ways. Indlela is a journey, okanye is a path. If uzwa umuntu ngesiZulu athi ay ngisendleleni, it means I'm on my way, I'm on a journey, no ay ngizothatha indlela ebheke eBergville, right? So I'm taking a journey to Bergville. So indlela is a noun. Now, so when you combine ukuziba and the verb and the noun indlela, then we get uzibandlela, okanye ukuziba indlela, which is to avoid taking a journey, avoid a path, avoid going anywhere. That is ukuziba indlela. So the name of the month December then was named uzibandlela, right? Nobody is going or taking journeys unnecessarily. Nobody is unnecessarily visiting each other or anyone. Everyone is busy in the field. Hence uzibandlela, right? So that was the time and the moment in space wherein people were avoiding taking unnecessary journeys or making unnecessary visits. They were busy in the field. But beyond that, when you look at nature outside there, you find that now, the other part of indlela is a path. Indlela means a path, So the other part of it now of uzibandlela is when the grasses are grown so big, you find that those small footpaths, they are getting closed by the grasses and some other vegetation that are springing up. Now that there is plenty rain, there is plenty food for vegetation, so the grasses end up coming together to close the footpaths. In that point, in that time, also remember snakes. At some point they really hide themselves, but when it is that season of summer, snakes come out. They're hunting after food also. So there are some dangerous snakes also that could be found. So people even would avoid unnecessarily going to the jungle, because they were very terrible and dangerous snakes at that point. So to avoid being unnecessarily, bitten by snakes, they'll avoid frequenting the jungle. Instead, be busy, with their works and their responsibilities somewhere. So hence, then that month of what is called December in Gregorian calendar in isiZulu is called uzibandlela, right? So according to the Gregorian calendar, December is the 12th month, which is senseless, and stupid. Naturally it can't be. Whether you are European now, I'm an African, I'm explaining it from an African perspective, but also whether you're an European, December is not the end of your year. That is a scam by Pope Gregory and his fellow scammers. They were scamming you, right? Every year begins in spring. So take note of when is spring, wherever you're at in Europe or wherever. That is the beginning of your year. So our year begins in the month of Umandulo, which is September, according to Gregorian calendar. We start doing, our agricultural activities. And let's go back to what I indicated earlier on, according to how celestial bodies, cosmic bodies, denotes and mark time. So in spring, that formation of stars called isiLimela. Let's decipher the word isiLimela. There is a verb, in it, which denotes ukulima. To lima, ukulima is to do planting, sowing, tilling the land, doing those agricultural activities in the garden or fields or farms. That is ukulima, right? So that word isilimela is coming from what? The word ukulima. So when those stars appear, that is the beginning of the year. This is the time for people to start preparing for doing what? Ukulima. Hence isilimela. So who is commanding time? Is umenzi. Through what? through the stars. It's the stars that tell the time now to say this is the beginning of the year. Start preparing for what? For ukulima, which is agricultural